KCO fam, what's up? I tell you what, you know what America needs right now? America needs Indian police. That's what we need. Nobody really dies when the police come for you, but man, they're going to smack the crap out of you, right? I think America needs this. So I get a lot of questions from the Russians, a lot of questions from the Indians about America and guns, the gun culture here in America. And the condition here in America is law and order is breaking apart, and it's going to become very much like a Netflix original, gritty, true crime, Punisher, scenario here in America. In what is happening is we have these protests that are going on. A lot of it has to do with George Floyd started it, and now it's kind of morphed into something else. It really, what's going on now does not have a lot to do with George Floyd. It has more to do with the political agenda, with everything, right? Any kind of movement begins, it's a genuine movement, and then the politics get involved, and they hijack, and it becomes something else. It's very similar, like, how can I explain this to you, my Indian friends? It's very similar to social media. When a new social media comes out, it's very cool with the young people until mom and dad and grandma and grandpa get involved. Then the young people are like, okay, I'm out. I got to go find something else. And it kind of chases after, right? It's very similar to that. I think we should all go back to MySpace. I'm just saying, I got a MySpace account just waiting for everybody to come back to. Not really. Maybe. I won't tell. Bring back MySpace. And so this is happening in America with this movement here. So in America, the courts have said, basically you can protest up and down the streets, public property, right? You have the right to go on public property. We see this with the homeless encampments. They're sleeping on the sidewalk, and the police really can't do much about it. They're just on the sidewalk, and it looks bad. It looks bad for the city. It looks like you don't know what you're doing, that you have an out-of-control population, you're not helping people. It just looks bad, regardless of the city. But you get onto private property, that's something different. Now, you guys have seen videos of where I live. A bunch of buildings, right? We're not a gated community completely. There are some gates, but it's walled and it's private property. And the laws are different on private property than they are on public property. So I think we are 5 acres. I think that's what we are. Our property sits on is 5 acres, and it's walled up, and it clearly says no trespassing. So if I'm taking stuff out to the trash and I find people digging through the trash who don't belong here, I tell them, hey, this is private property, man. You need to leave, or we're going to call the cops. And the cops come out, and if they find them, they'll run their record and see if there's a warrant, and they arrest them. It's an easy arrest usually. So I'm saying all this to set this up here, right? So we have this in St. Louis. The mayor of St. Louis lives in this very palatial, gated community. So there are gates on the community. It's not an open community. Like my community, you could walk through. Where I live, you could walk through the property. But if you stop and you don't really live there, people will ask you, what are you doing here? Because it's private property, right? This is gated, so you have to have a passcode to get in. Beep, boop, 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 or you get a call, and they open the gate from their house. The houses are multi-million-dollar homes. And so a group of protesters came to where the mayor lives, and they broke the gate. Right? They took the gate down. So now they're in this multi-million-dollar neighborhood, and they're walking down the streets, and there's a huge crowd of them walking through the streets, which is not common, right? This is not common. This is not public property. This is private property. And so there is a homeowner who doesn't know what's going on. He looks out the window, and he sees a horde of people walking, carrying signs. What are they doing? Him and his wife go and they get their guns, and they come out on their front porch to confront the group. Completely legal. It is there's a law called Stand Your Ground, which means you have the right not to have to run and flee, that you can say, this is my house, I'm asking you to leave, and if you come any closer, and that's completely legal. So I want to show you this clip so you can see the imagery of this, and then we'll talk about it in a minute. Now, this is important. Her hand is on the trigger. She ain't playing. The hand is on the trigger. Oof. This a terrible optic here. He's got the gun pointed at his wife. Not on purpose. I mean, like they're clearly unaware at how to do this, right? Clearly unaware. And I mean, just how they're handling the guns tells you that they've never really used the guns. And if you meant them harm, would not be hard to rush them. There's something called the dry draw. And the dry draw is how long does it take you to unholster and shoot or to aim. And they're kind of close into that area where they would, my guess is they would probably panic if somebody rushed them, like, because they're just not trained for it. Very poor gun handling techniques, very, very poor. But this is where we're getting to in America. This is where we're getting to where law and order is not being enforced. That citizens feel like they have to do that, which is unfortunate. This is, I think, going to become more and more widespread. I really do. So, thank you so much for watching. You guys got any questions about America, email me. Email me and I'll answer them for you. I'll catch you later. Peace and much love.